What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 8 of 10K on the Bay, where I go over 5 tips to get you started on eBay and to make your first $500. I'm getting a lot of questions from beginners. I am not an expert, but I do think I can help you get to the first $500 on eBay, which is basically my most common question. So hopefully I can help you guys out with that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me take a look really quick and see if this is live. And I'll go over 5 tips that really help me out. Cool. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Somebody let me know if you can. Let's see. I think it's working. Let's see here. Okay. What's going on? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that I want to go over is that feedback equals reputation, and reputation is king. So get as much feedback as you can when you're beginning. What's going on, guys? The first thing is get to 100 feedback as soon as possible. I actually recommend that you guys do 100 feedback before you start even selling. I think you should learn how to buy on eBay before you start selling. I think that's a huge advantage. If you have 100 feedback, you don't look like a complete beginner, and people can actually trust you when you're buying things. If you have less than 100 feedback, I'm basically looking to get a really good deal from that person because they're new, they don't know what they're doing, perhaps. So, and I like to see how things are packaged and shipped to me because all that information is important. What's up, Alex the Reseller? What's up, Chris Sharp? Alex and Brandon. Opogo 9000, Brian the Oak, Brooke Picker, Living More with Less. Great, guys. Glad that you guys could join me. I'm going to sort of do a Q&A at the end if you guys have more questions. But the first thing I definitely think that tip number 1 to make your first $500 is that feedback is king. So get that feedback up. The second thing is that sell everything that you own. If you're serious about eBay, I recommend literally selling every single thing that you own, except for the cat. And the reason is because you already know what you paid for every item, and you already know why you bought that item. And I think that's invaluable knowledge because when you're first getting started on eBay, you don't really know what to sell. So I think that you should sell what you already buy. So what's up, Brandon? So basically how I recommend doing that is first sell all the stuff that you own, then rebuy all the stuff that you own on eBay so you can see the prices, and you're going to be shocked at the replacement value. And you guys don't need to write any of this down. You can just email me at 10khonthebay@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'm going to post a screenshot of these tips. Okay, so I recommend you don't spend any of your own money at first and put up at least 250 of your own items. Like sell all your shirts, all your clothes, all your house goods, everything. Put up at least 250 listings before anything else, just so you can get an idea of the process of listing, the process of shipping, the process of finding things around your house first. And that is key, because if you do that, you don't have to spend any valuable money, and you can figure out if you even like eBay. Don't go sourcing first. Just sell what you have first and see if you even like it. If you hate selling stuff you already own, you're not going to make it on eBay, because that should be stuff that you already like since you purchased it for yourself. And I think that when you rebuy the items, you're going to learn about the replacement costs, and you might find something that you really like. So the third thing that I want to go over is probably the most important as far as making profit on eBay, and that is creating an unfair sourcing advantage. So this is why garage sales and your friends and your grandma, those are the best sources, because they're only available to you in that area. There's an Amazon seller named Eddie Levine that does $5 million on less than 100 items for sale. He just has a really deep quantity. So basically, he has a relationship with the manufacturer that nobody else does. And that is an unfair advantage. And that's why he can do $5 million in sales with less than 100 items, because of that unique advantage. If you ask your grandma to give you all the stuff that she doesn't use anymore, no one else has that available. Hopefully just that will get you your first $500, and that'll really help you get started. But again, That unfair sourcing advantage can come from also scanning all your regional stores. Go through the local stores, all your local boutiques, find out what they sell, write it all down. That's only available to you and the people in your area. And don't give away your honey holes, and don't give away your manager relationships, because that's key to maintaining supply and making sure that you can sustain this, the sourcing part of it, which is a major part of eBay. But you'll find out right away that listing is more difficult than you think. Getting that process down is very important, because it's not that hard to find things to sell that are profitable. There are people with thousands and thousands of unlisted items. Don't be that person. So sell everything you own at first, keep all that money. You'll make some mistakes on shipping. We'll make a shipping video later. But I just think this is really important. Listing and finding out what you like to sell is huge. So the fourth thing is copy successful sellers, and don't copy people who you don't want to be like. So right now I'm copying two major sellers. One is Apparel Save and one is BHFO. I'll put that in the description, and I'll put it on my Instagram for you guys to follow. Both of those stores do 8 figures on eBay. They're both doing more than $10 million a year on eBay. So I'm copying them, not necessarily because I want to sell as much as them, but like my goal on eBay is 7 figures. So I figure if I can copy their model identically, and I should be able to do at least $1 million, because they're doing 10 million with the same system. I'm not going to copy somebody who's doing $100 a week on eBay, because their habits are going to help me only make $100 a week. So those are 2 huge sellers I recommend, BHFO and Apparel Save. Those are 2 major, huge 8-figure sellers that you could learn hundreds and hundreds of tips just by creeping on their listing, seeing how they sell things, what do they sell. Go to the left side of the search bar on eBay and click sold and find out what they're selling. Both of them have over 100,000 items sold in the last 90 days. So you should be able to learn a lot. If not, just straight up sell the exact same things for the exact same prices. Actually, maybe a little bit less, because they have more traction and traffic. So they can get away with being a little bit sloppy. When you are just starting, you can't make any mistakes. So really pay attention to detail and sell things that you know, so that in case you make a mistake, or that you have, so in case you do make a mistake, when you sell it, you're just getting, you're just losing out on the cost of your own item. Let's see here. Okay, last tip, then I gotta get back to work, which is knowledge equals gross profit. Like, if you wonder why car dealerships don't want to tell you everything that's wrong with the car, why used car dealers get such a bad reputation, or just in general, when you're buying a car, that's like the most obvious place where unequal knowledge equals profit. If they don't tell you what's wrong with the car, or they don't tell you that it's been in an accident, or if they know that the market is really hot, like let's say you're selling a Lamborghini and the market is 1.3 million. That's what they're selling for on the market. But the price tag is 600,000. So if you're buying this Lamborghini for 600,000, like there's a seller that sells exotic supercars, and he just basically takes advantage of this unequal knowledge part. He'll go to a Lamborghini dealership and they'll be offering it for 600,000. He'll say, okay, I'll buy it for 600,000. And the seller's like, no problem. And he flips it for 1.3 million. And you're looking at a $700,000 flip because of unequal knowledge. The Lamborghini dealer could just do it themselves, but they don't know. It's the same thing when you go to a garage sale and you're like, hey, how much for this pair of shoes? And they're like, $5. And they don't know that's a rare something that's worth $75 or $50. Your knowledge is going to create the gross profit. And basically, the larger the knowledge gap, the more profit you're going to make. And the more unique the knowledge is. So if you have a stock tip, you can make $1 million overnight because you know something that they don't. On this same note, I like to sell in 30 different categories. And the reason is because I like learning new things, and I'm constantly going deeper and deeper into these categories so that I can get more knowledge in a specific niche, which I think is important. But I also think it's important to sell many categories, because some of that knowledge is going to cross over into the same category. So for example, something I learned about jeans is that people care about the content of the material. They want to know if it's 80% spandex or 10% cotton or whatever, so that they can basically determine the fit before they get it. People can't try on clothes on the internet, so they have to basically rely on you for fabric content or measurements to really find out if it's going to be a legitimate buy. So I learned that from jeans, but I add that now on coats or shirts because people have the same information. So that's how it will cross your platform. I recommend definitely trying to stay in the same category, but selling different products in it so you can get a good idea of how it crosses over. So Brian's asking, how's my sell-through rate coming along compared to my goal? It's still above 1% a day. I'm about 1,600 items. My high-end items, usually people contact me to get them outside of eBay, which is kind of it's not allowed on eBay. You're not supposed to sell things outside of it. But for example, if I sold a $600 set of golf clubs, they know I'm paying $60 in eBay fees. So they'll offer, how about we do $550 on PayPal and we'll get a slight discount. It's a win-win situation. Somebody gets an item for a little bit cheaper and I have to pay less fees. So it ends up netting more money for both of us. I don't necessarily recommend doing this if you're just starting, but my sell-through rate is definitely still 1% of what I sell. I definitely recommend you guys follow people like Craigslist Hunter. He's like closer to 2%. So he's selling hotter items. It depends on what you're selling. So as I get more money, I'm going to do more and more online arbitrage. I'm going to do more retail arbitrage. You need a little bit of capital to do that, but you can buy items that will sell faster than 1%. So if you guys don't know, my goal is to have 10,000 items for sale and sell 1% of them a day. So I'm right on track with that. I've been out of town for a couple of weeks. Another thing that's not related is that I was on, they say it takes as long as your vacation to get back into the swing of things. And I went to Japan for about 10 days and Taiwan. And then I went to Vegas for Amazon ASD for a conference. And that was another 5 days. So 15 days is how long I was gone. And I've been back for a few days now, and I'm not totally coming back. I'm not into the groove of things yet. I think since I was gone for 15 days, it's gonna take me 15 days to get back into a groove. Yeah, so Brian the Oak Brook Picker says that he's more long tail and he tries to make more money per item versus the quick flip. I agree with that model. That's why I'm a medium speed flipper. So like I'm willing to hold on to an item for 90 days to make 10 bucks. And $10 is my profit goal, but it's more like $17 per item. So this year I've sold 1,000 items, roughly a little bit more than that, but at an average of $17 profit. And I would say my sell-through rate's right around 100 days. So it's about 3 months for me to sell something. So before you guys message me why your items aren't going to sell, it depends on your pricing. If you're like Brian the Oak, if you're like Brian and you're going for a more long tail, maybe higher profit, maybe you're waiting 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years to get 10 times, 20 times your money. I don't know what your margins are, Ryan. But for me, I just want to make $10 profit in 90 days, and I'm willing to wait. And I price my items right at that price point. If I wanted to make $20 an item with the same items, it's either going to take longer or it's not going to happen because I sell a lot of commodity items, necessities. On nostalgia, which you guys should just basically think about what you liked as a kid. Unless you're already a kid. I know I have some subscribers who are like 10 years old, so you guys don't have that advantage. But if you are 10 years old and watching this, figure out what your parents liked as a kid and sell that. 19th Vintage says, I think you need to do a little bit of both, to be honest with you, like a department store. I agree. I mean, my store, I want to average 90 days. But if I put up, let's say, a Nintendo Switch, it's going to sell in 24 hours. So that's really slow. But I might pick up a painting. If you guys saw, I sold a Thomas Kincaid painting. And that one I bought, I'd be willing to wait 1 year, 2 years to sell that because I bought it for $5 or $10 at a garage sale. and it's worth at least 100. So I would just wait to get $100 for that, because all the previous completed ones sold for 100 or more. So there's no reason to cheap sell that, because there's not enough of it to do it. It's true, you have to appeal to more buyers to get more sales. I think that's the same idea as why I decided to sell in 30 different categories. And it's also why I think you need 250 listings before you start complaining about why your sales are slow. Because if you don't have at least that much, you're not getting enough traffic to your store, period. And it is unusual for someone to buy different categories, but I have had somebody buy Pokemon cards and a hair dryer and a set of spoons in the same transaction. So like, they were stoked. They were like, wow, I cannot believe all the random stuff I needed you had in your store. So that can happen, but you know, a lot of successful sellers have recommended you just stick with one niche. And so, for example, if you're going to sell clothing and your store is called Jennifer's Clothing, that makes sense. But since my store is like a general store and has more of everything, my name doesn't say that. So I don't share my username on YouTube, but if you guys want to follow me on Instagram or private message me, I'll probably just tell you. What's up, Mal? What's going on? Well, how about Russell Westbrook? He's killing it. I'm in the Bay, so like the Steph Curry madness basically ended as soon as we got Kevin Durant. But this channel is not about basketball. But does anybody have any more questions on how to make your first $500? This is sort of a beginner video. Sorry for you guys that are more veteran. I'm not by any means an expert. I still consider myself a beginner, but I do think I can help you make your first $500 without spending any money. You should just sell every single thing that you own. It sounds silly, but it's not, because you already know why you bought it. So I think if you think about why you bought it, what you paid for it, and then you sell it on eBay, you're going to find out what the market is. All the time you'll find things that are like, whoa, I can't believe this sells for so much. Go find that. That's how you're gonna do it. I love. Does Westbrook have a shoe? I love Steph Curry shoes. What's going on with CK? You don't understand. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. Does anybody have any more questions? Thanks for stopping in. I'm still kind of shocked that there are live viewers. One more thing. When you guys message me on IG or email me, introduce yourself, because I don't know who you are. Like, I've already done a few videos and I'm pretty active on Instagram, so you guys kind of have a better idea of who I am, but I don't know who you are. And so I definitely want you guys to. Oh yeah, you're right. He does have he has a Jordan. He's sponsored by Jordan, because I think he had a Jordan 20. Or I'm sorry, Jordan 25. But yeah, when you message me, please introduce yourself so I can get to know who you are a little bit. Tell me one interesting thing about yourself, one weird talent you have, so I can get to know you a little bit better, instead of just like, hey, what's your eBay store? Like, I'm still gonna share it with you, but like, try to at least develop a relationship. And I can tell the people who are like, hey, what's your eBay store? And they don't try to build rapport with me. Those are the people who have a shitty eBay store, because they're not good at developing relationships, and you need that to get good sources. I know, right? 109,000 for a ring. That's like such a steal. You know what? I do think you should be organized from day one, but you don't really know what your system is going to be like. My first system was pile on the floor. That was my first system. Pile on the floor. And I was like, man, I can't find anything. So then it was like different piles on the floor. And then I was like, okay, different piles on the floor is cool, but I don't have that much space. So now it's like different piles inside of bins. And then adding the numbers on the bins. Like, you guys, I just started my bin system on January like 22nd. I've been doing my bin system for 2 months. I'm not an expert. I don't know what to do. I think 100 feedback at least. So you can go on there and buy, you can go on to eBay and buy recipes or $1 knickknacks or something to pad your feedback. And I recommend buying at least 100 things on eBay, because you're going to get a positive feedback, because sellers should leave you a positive feedback if you pay on time. And so learn how things are shipped to you and do all that stuff before you start selling. Mal is right. You guys should follow Mal on Instagram. But as far as organizational supplies, they're not cheap. I use the bins from Target. They're $5 each. And all the little clips and stuff, you guys can message me for the link to it. It's $50. My inventory system cost about $800 with the shelves, the bins, all that stuff. But you don't need to do all that. You can just start with one shelf and a bunch of bins to get it set up. Buy supplies. Yeah, actually, I should have put that in my listing, which is you need to buy poly mailers, bags, tape, and a scale. But yeah, you're gonna adapt your system as you go. Sonia, I would do 100 feedback if you can. Just because if you buy 100 things on eBay and you have 100 things shipped to you, you're gonna figure out how people package things. And you'll have all those packing materials that you can recycle for the stuff that you sell. Thanks, Jennifer. Just try and, oh yeah, everyone follow Jennifer on Santiago, or Jennifer Santiago. 40 bins. Yeah, that's awesome. I want 400 bins with 25 to 30 items in them, and that's how I'm going to reach 10,000. And I have 200 bins right now, so I need to get to 5,000 ASAP. Let's see. Yeah, you can get totes of the bins for free too. I've gotten there and said, hey, can I fill it up? And I started with mismatched bins, but then that became a space issue because they don't fit on the shelves properly. So again, be creative. 19th vintage got totes of the bins. I got them for free because I was buying such a large quantity. I'd be like, hey, I need some stuff to put this into my car. And they're like, you can have the bins. Because people will donate stuff directly in these plastic bins. So you can get them for free. Any other questions? Let's see here. Get a good inventory to start with. Yeah. If your issue is capital, don't spend any money. Just sell stuff that you own. I don't think it's a problem to sell stuff that you own, like even especially if you really like it, because then you might be onto a category that you like it, that you like to sell in and get more of. So if you like sneakers, sell sneakers, buy more sneakers, you can always get them back. The world, you can get almost all of your items back except for maybe your keepsakes from your family. Are there any sellers that cater to low price item feedback building demo? Yeah, people who sell recipes. If you want to get your feedback built up, you can just buy recipes like tomato soup recipe, and they'll give you feedback in 1 second, and it'll cost $1. And you're basically buying the feedback because I didn't actually make the tomato soup. I just want the $1 feedback. And it's against eBay policy to sell feedback straight up, but you can buy items from people that are going, let's say 1 cent free shipping. They're doing that to build their selling feedback. So you guys could do that also. If you have a, actually you could do it, but I don't recommend you sell stuff that cheap because you need money when you first start. Yeah, exactly. Buy recipes, buy knickknacks, buy iPhone chargers, buy cords. Like I bought 10 iPhone chargers from 10 different sellers for $1 shipped because I don't get why things from China ship cheaper than from the States, but you can find items that are shipped with no tracking so people can use a regular stamp. Those items you can get for $1 free shipping. Like also cards. You guys can sell Magic the Gathering cards or Pokemon cards and get them for $1 shipped. There won't be any tracking. You can get, you can pad your feedback. But once you have over 100 feedback, people are more trusting of you. People will do some homework and they'll be like, oh, this person only has buying feedback, but not really. Most people don't have time for that. They just look at your feedback number. If it's 100% and you have 100 feedback, that's good enough. Let's see. Full-time job. I still have a kind of a full-time job, like 30 hours a week. And I don't ever want to quit because money is hard to make. And sometimes you lose something. I could lose my eBay account any second. So then I don't want to rely on eBay. What if I lose my eBay account? That's why I'm doing Amazon. And what if I lose my Amazon account? Well, I'll be doing real estate. So like, I don't believe that one platform is going to carry you forever unless it's your own platform. So that's why people love Shopify or building their own website because it can't be taken away from them as easily. But then if you do that, there's more work in driving traffic to your website and doing all that stuff to make it work. So anyway, hope that was helpful, guys. I am going to get off and get the listing hit me up on Instagram or email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com. Hit the like button if you guys haven't, and please subscribe to my videos. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Peace out.